Now you're going to flip it over with the base page opening on the right hand side now, and we will start on to page 4. So you will need 2 pieces measuring 8 1/4 by 7 3/4. So 8 1/4 by 7 3/4. And 1 piece measuring 4 by 8 7/8. Okay? And now we will grab our scoreboard and take each of your A pieces. Make sure your paper is at the 8 1/2 along the top. So on the 8 1/2 inch side, score at a half, or sorry, 8 1/4 inch side, score at a half, and then we are going to flip it over, and we're going to score at 4 1/2. All right, so 1/2 inch, and then we flip the paper over and score at 4 1/2. Now the reason we're flipping the paper over is because of that mountain fold, the mountain valley thing. So right now this is a mountain and this is a valley. So that means that these folds are going to go in opposite directions. So we're turning that valley into a mountain. But then this will also go from a valley to a mountain, which means it's going to bend the opposite direction. Okay, so we'll do that. Turn our valleys into mountains. And we'll burnish those in a sec. Now grab your piece B and with it in the scoreboard at the 8 7/8. Yeah, it's not quite 9. 8 7/8. Measure or score at a 1/2 inch and at 8 1/2. And then turn it and score at half. So this is going to be creating a pocket. Okay, put your scoreboard away. And now we will add our score tape. So to this 1/2 inch bit here, we're adding our score tape. And then to all 3 sides of your B piece. Your pocket piece. Did I say it was a pocket? It's a pocket. I don't know if I said that already. Okay, now we'll miter the corners. And miter the corners of these ones as well, just a little bit off each edge. Okay, get those out of the way. Alright, now we're ready to start adhering things down to your base page. So first we're going to work with these 2 pieces. So you've got your, this is it's going to fold out. So make sure the opening of this flap here is towards the center. So remove your score tape. Okay, and now it's going on the far left edge of your base page. And then we'll grab the other one, and this one's going to the far right of your base page. Okay, so now we've got two flaps that open like that and meet in the center. Okay, and now we will attach our B piece, our pocket piece, to our base page. So ensure all of your folds are are burnished. Okay, we'll attach our pocket now, so remove your score tape. Sides first and then the bottom. And we will attach it down to the bottom of your base page. Alright, fabulous. And now we will just attach some magnets. We will attach them here and here, so this stays closed, and to these two pieces here, so these parts stay closed. Alright, so score tape right about up here, so about an inch from the side and 2/3 of the way up. Oh, got 3 magnets there, I just need 2. There's 1. All right, you have just completed page 4. Woohoo! All right, set that aside and we will begin with page 5. You will need 3 pieces. We've got piece A, which is 6 3/4 by 7 inches. Piece B is 6 1/2 by 4 1/4, and piece C is 7 1/2 by 7 1/2. Okay, so we'll get our scoreboard. And piece A, set it in your scoring board with the 7 inches along the top and score at a 1/2 inch. Piece B, set in your scoring board along the 4 1/4 side, and again score at half. And piece C, set it in your scoring board along the 7 1/2 inch side, score at half and 7, and then turn it 90 degrees, score at 3/4 of an inch, and then flip the whole thing over so your 3/4 of an inch score line that you just did is still at the 3/4 inch mark, and then score at 4 1/2. Okay, so after you've done all your scoring, you can set your scoreboard aside. And now put your score tape along your 1/2 inch section of B and C, or sorry, A and B, I mean. A and B. And now, with section C, you've got these 2 little bits right here that we're going to cut out. Okay? So this is the 1/2 inch up to the 1/2 inch score line, and then up to the 3 inch score line. Okay, so we're going to cut these 2 little bits out. So now your C piece should look like that. Okay. And now you're going to add score tape to the valley side of these hinges, or these little bits. Okay, now we are going to miter each of your corners. Okay, get all those little pieces out of the way, and we'll fold on our score lines. Okay, so grab your next base page, and the opening of your base page should be to the left on this one. Okay, so now we're going to take piece A and remove the score tape, and we are going to place it right down in the center of your base page. Your adhesive is at the top. And now we are going to attach your piece C. Okay, so you're going to have all the adhesive parts on this side. We're attaching it to part A. Okay, so remove your score tape. Sides first, and then the bottom. And attach it on the left side of piece A. Okay, so this now creates a little pocket here. Okay, and now we are going to take your piece B, and it is going to go on top of C. So we're going to place it right here so that it opens to the left. So remove your score tape and right to the very edge. You want to make sure that this flap will still open really well. If you don't get it perfect, I didn't get it quite perfect, so I'm going to trim just a smidge off of your piece B. Like the smidgest of smidgies. There we go, now it will close really well. So now we're going to add our magnets. So first I want to add magnets to this flap here, the B flap that you just adhered. I'm going to go a little bit further in. I'm going to go right to the center this time, simply because I want this magnet to do double duty. You'll see what I mean in a second. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I want this flap, your little 3-inch flap, I also want it to be able to close and magnet right here. So what I'm going to do is, with the B flap closed, I'm going to place one magnet, put some score tape on it, and then fold this one back. So you've just saved yourself a magnet, and now that will magnet with the B flap either open or closed because they're all lined up. Okay, so now we want a magnet to close this flap to this side as well. So you want it to be able to magnet open and closed. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to let a magnet attach to that and put some score tape on it, and then put it in the other position. So now you know that all of your magnets are completely lined up together. Alright, so now we need to attach a magnet to the top part here. Okay, so now we just attached our last magnet to the big flap here. And now we are on to page 6. Alright, so flip your base page over. Your opening is now on the right hand side. And we will cut our pieces for 6. So, got a few pieces we will need. We have got piece A, which measures 8 1/4 by 8 inches high. Piece B is 8 inches by 7.5 inches. Piece C, 12 inches long by 5.5 inches high. And you need 2 piece Ds, and they are 4 inches by 5.5 inches, 2 of those. Okay, so grab your scoreboards. And we'll do all of our scoring. Alright, piece A. Piece A goes in your scoreboard. 8.5 is along the top. And we are scoring it at 1/2 inch. Piece B. Place it with the 7.5 inches at the top. Again at 1/2. Okay, 7.5 inches along the top, 1/2 inch score mark. Okay, C. C you're going to place in your scoreboard along the 12-inch side. You are going to score at 5 and 7. You're going to flip the piece over and score at 4 and 8. Alright, and your D pieces are, put them into your scoreboard along the 4-inch side and score at half for each of them. Alright, fabulous. You've got all of your score marks. Now we will apply our score tape to all of those. Piece C doesn't get any score tape at all. Along the rest of your 1/2-inch folds on the valley side, so the indented side, we will add our score tape or wet adhesive if that is what you're using. Score tape, check. Miter all of your corners. Alright, fabulous. Mitering done. And now we will fold on all of the score lines and burnish them all. Okay, so with your piece C, the one that you did the flip over, so as always, you're going to want to fold on the valley. So you've got the 4, the 5 and the 7 are going to fold back. So those valleys and the mountains. And then your 4 and 8 are going to fold forward. So in essence, this is what you're creating. Okay, can you see that? You've got 2 going in, and these are going to create little pockets. So now we are going to place little bits of score tape here and here, or wet glue, just to turn those into pockets. So making sure not to go over the score lines. This one went a little too far, so we'll cut that off. There we go. Okay, and now remove your score tape backing from each of those. And if you've got score tape that's just a little bit too far over, you can kind of just use your finger and just kind of roll it to where you want it to. And now push that in, and then push that one in. So in essence, you're creating 2 little pockets. Okay? Alright, now grab your base page and we will start putting all this down. So piece A, your largest piece here, we're going to adhere right to the top of the page. Oh, I've got B in my hand though. Okay, A, there we go. So it should cover the entire base page. Remove your score tape and we are going to adhere it right to the top of your base page, as straight as possible. Fabulous. Now you're going to take your B piece, your piece that is 8 by 7.5, remove your score tape, and this one is going to go at the bottom of your A piece that you just adhered. Okay, so if you turn it sideways, you've got this. So this is your B piece here, this is your A piece here, and your base page. Alright, opening on the right. Okay, fabulous. So now we are going to adhere this whole C piece, this pocket piece, down to your piece B. So we're going to want score tape all over the back of this. If you want, and not absolutely necessary, but if you want to, you can first adhere these two little flaps that were created by making your pocket, just so they're not flopping around. So that's the front. You've got your two pockets, and on the back it's open like that, so you can adhere these two pieces, but you don't have to. You could just put score tape all the way along and that would work just as well, but just because it makes it easier to work with, I'm just going to adhere these down. There we go, and now it's not flopping around. So put score tape or glue all over the back of your C piece. All right. Okay. Now remove all that score tape. That might be a little bit of overkill on the score tape. You might not need quite that much, but I want to make sure it stays stuck. My cat is down below my crafting table here getting covered in score tape backing and not even caring. Okay, so you've got your flat B that is going down. Place this right in the center. Eyeball it as best you can. I think I'm a little bit off. Can I still? It is. Oh, it's down there already. All right. I'm a smidge off. But that's what happens when you put that much score tape on. Once it's down there, it's down there. So hopefully you got yours centered. I'm just going to trim off that tiny little bit that I went over. Alright, there we go. Alright, so now you've got two pockets here. And our last two pieces, our D pieces, we are going to attach them to either side of your pocket piece. Okay, so they're going to go to either side. And then when we do all of our embellishing and decorating, there's going to be two swing tabs right in the center here that will open up these two bits to reveal your little pockets. Okay, so remove your score tape from the back of both of your D pieces and try and be a little more careful than I was in lining them up. I'm going to turn it this way just so it's a little easier for me to work on. Alright, there we go. And the other one. Alright, so you've got your two D pieces that fold up into the center, and you'll have your swing tabs here. These open. These are both little pockets on either side. This whole piece opens down, and then the whole thing opens up. So now we want to add some magnets. Swing tabs are going to be here, so we don't need magnets here, but we want a magnet connecting B to A and A to your base page. We are moving along here. We are already almost onto page 7. Hope everybody's with me so far. Oh my goodness. Sometimes score tape is my nemesis. There we go. Okay, magnet 1 attached. And magnet 2. We are now done with page 6. Alright, so page 7 measurements. Let us begin. Piece A measures 7 5/8 by 11, 2 of those. Piece B are your hinges. So these are 1 inch by 7 5/8, 2 of those. And your third piece is a pocket piece, and it measures 6 1/2 by 8 3/4. Alright, so we'll get our scoreboard out. For your A pieces, place them in the scoreboard at 11 and score at 3 7/8, so 1 tick before the 4. And flip your paper. So your 3 7/8 is still in the same place, just on the other side. And now we will score it at 7 7/8. Okay, so do that to both A pieces. Your B pieces are your hinges, so just put them in at the 1 mark and score them lengthwise at 1/2. And your piece C, put it in at the 8 3/4 mark. Score at 1/2. Score at 8 1/4. Turn your paper 90 degrees. Scoring at 1/2. Done with our scoring. Now we will fold all of our pieces. So start with the A's. Alright, so this valley turning into a mountain. This mountain turning into a valley. Okay, sorry that was off camera. So now you've got 2 pieces that have little flaps, and then as well open like that. And now 2 hinges. And we'll apply the score tape. While we have the score tape out, we'll apply score tape to the 1/2 inch sections of your C piece as well, your pocket piece. And now, as always, let's miter some corners, shall we? Alright, now we can put it all together. First, we will put your pocket on. Oh, I haven't folded these yet. Okay, so remove your score tape. Sides first. And the bottom. Alright, and now we are going to put this pocket, you're opening to your base, excuse me, you're opening to your base pages on the right, and we are going to put this on the right as well. Wait a minute, I think your base page should be to the left, should it not? Yeah, so base page opening towards the left. This is why we have the PDF written instructions as well. So piece C, your pocket piece, opening of the pocket towards the left, base page opening, pocket opening towards the right, base page opening towards the left. I think I need more coffee right now is what I need. Alright, I got it together now. Okay, so we've got your hinges. Adhesive score tape on the outside. Opening is going to face inward. So remove your score tape. and adhere it down to the left side, your first one to the left. I hope I haven't messed you up with this page. My caffeine intake, I think, needed to be a little higher before I started filming this morning. And then your other hinge is going to go on the opposite side of your base page, right to the edge, with the opening facing inwards. So both of these hinges, the opening to the hinges right here. So we are now going to put our A pieces on top of that. So we're doing it so that this short flap will open to the side like that. So I find it easier if you kind of open it up a little bit. And now adhere okay, so you've got one accordion fold and now the other one on this side. So that little flap is going to be opening that direction. Alright, so now we've got two pieces that open like that with a pocket underneath. And they open like that, and they open like that. Alright, so now it's time to add some magnets. So we want magnets closing, well, you could do a swing tab on this one as well if you like, or a couple little swing tabs if you prefer. I'm going to do a magnet here, a magnet here, and a magnet here. Okay, on each side. Alright, magnet number one. So to save on magnets, I'm going to do the same thing and line them all up again. So we've got this magnet here that we've just adhered. Okay, and now I'm going to open this up like this and just attach one magnet to this one. So it's just, okay, and then we will remove the score tape. There we go. And now we'll open it up all the way. And I think I'm going to use it a little bit further out instead, because it's a little bit too far into the center, I find. Yeah, so. A little bit more over here. Two magnets. And close. I want to make sure that this magnet hits the pocket with enough room here that your pattern paper is going to completely cover it. Alright, so now do the magnet placement in the same way that you've just done the other side. I think I probably use about 50 magnets in this whole album. If you don't have that many, or if you would prefer not to use that many, there's some that you can omit, or otherwise you could use other closures. You can get creative with it. You don't have to do exactly what I'm doing. If you want to use Velcro or more swing tabs or something like that, feel free. Alright, so we've got our magnets there. Got our magnets here, pocket here, and then they also both open like that. Alright, fabulous. Now we are on to our last page, page 8. So flip this over. Now your opening to your base page will be on your right hand side. For real this time. I promise. Okay, so your measurements for pieces for page 8 are as follows. Piece A, 5 1/2 by 12. Piece B, 7.5 by 12. And pieces C pieces, there's 4 of them, all the same, 3 5/8 by 5 1/4 times 4. Alright, those are your pieces. Now we will get our scoreboard out. Alright, take your piece A, put it in the scoreboard with the 12-inch side along the top, and score it at half, 5/8 of an inch, 5 7/8, and 6. Okay, so half, just one tick past half, 5 7/8, which is one tick before 6, and 6. Okay, so what you've got is two, I don't know if you can see that, two little, they're going to be gussets. So that little area right there, and there's a little area right there. Okay, and then you're going to flip your paper over and score at 11 3/8. Okay, so all of your score lines are in the same places they were before, just with your paper flipped over. Okay, so that is your A piece. Your B piece, put it in along the 12-inch side again, so the B is 7.5 by 12, I believe. Score it at 5, 10 1/8, and 10 1/4. Okay, and all 4 of your C pieces, stick them in your scoreboard along the 5 1/4 inch side, score them at half, all 4 of them. Alright, now we've got all of our score marks done, so now let us add our score tape. Alright, so for your A piece, you're going to add your score tape to fold on your score marks first, actually. Sorry, I think I did that off camera. Okay, so fold on your score lines. It should look something like this. You've got your half inch and your 5 5/8, 5 7/8, and 6-inch score marks, all folding the same way. Okay, and then your 1, 11 3/8 score line is going to fold the opposite direction, because that's what's going to attach to our base page. Okay, so you want to apply score tape to both of those half inches, making sure not to go over your little gusset that you've created. Alright, so in essence what we're doing is making a big belly band. That's why we wanted to have those that extra score line, so we have a little bit of a gusset, so some, you know, quite a bit can fit in there instead of just having a regular pocket. Okay, so remove the score tape from the inside of it. Oh, I forgot to miter the corners. Okay, miter those 2 corners and adhere it together. Okay, so now you've got, in essence, a big belly band. Okay, and now this is going to attach smack dab in the center of your base page. So miter those two corners. And we're going to attach that right in the center so that it lifts up. You can measure this if you desire. I'm just going to eyeball it. Alright, so that's that. Now we've got our other pieces. So for all of your C pieces, apply your score tape to that 1/2 inch and miter the corners and fold and burnish. And your B piece. Now your B piece doesn't have any score tape at all. This is just going to be a little folder, so fold on your score lines. And then you've got 2 score lines over here, creating another little gusset. Alright, now we are going to adhere those 4 C pieces into this little booklet. So 1 at the top and 1 at the bottom of this side, and then the other 2 over here. Now we've got a little leeway here, so I'm not going to put it right at the top. I'm going to leave just a tiny bit of space. So I want them to open really nicely. So I made it so that there was a little bit of leeway so they didn't get tangled up in each other. Alright, so now we've got 1 and 2. And now we're going to do the same on the other side, but going the opposite. What I mean by that is they are both going to open this direction. So make sure you're a little smidge away from your score line. Alright, now you've got an awesome opportunity for small, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like 12 pictures just in this little book. You'd have to trim them down a little bit, but 10 to 12 pictures. And then what we're going to do is put 2 magnets here, and then this whole thing is going to go into your belly band. So let's put 2 magnets here. Oh, it came off so easy for a change. And there we go. Now we've got like a lovely little booklet. Now if you want, you can put magnets on each of these so they stay nice and flat. Completely up to you. I don't think I did. No. Alright. So that fits in like that, and then it goes right into your belly band, like that. And now we're just going to put a magnet on this flap here. Alright, and voila! Alright folks, we have created the basis for all of our pages. So now we are going to move on to the binding system and the cover, and we will go from there. Alright.